The committee will come to order. Today's hearing is on obstruction of justice. Does the Justice Department have to respond to lawfully issued and valid congressional subpoena? The Oversight Committee mission statement is, we exist to secure two fundamental principles. First, Americans have a right to know that the money Washington takes from them is well spent. And second, Americans deserve an efficient, effective government that works for them. Our duty on the Oversight and Government Reform Committee is to protect these rights. Our solemn responsibility is to hold government accountable to taxpayers, because taxpayers have a right to know what they get from their government. We will work tirelessly in partnership with citizen watchdogs to deliver the facts to the American people and bring genuine reform to the bureaucracy. Today's hearing in specific is on the question of the powers and execution between the co-equal branches of government and the constitutional role of Congress to maintain and check on the executive branch. As the principal investigative committee of the United States House of Representatives, this committee serves to protect the right of the American people to know what their government is doing. The compulsory authority of this committee is an essential tool of transparency and accountability of the Federal bureaucracy. Without it, the executive branch would be free from any oversight, shielded from the vigilant eye of the American people and their elected representatives, and prone to more waste, more fraud, and more abuse than the nation has ever seen. No administration, not the last one I served under nor this one, likes congressional oversight. And we often are accused of doing it for partisan reasons or because of a particular administration. For the most part, we do it because administrations come and go, but the bureaucracy goes on and outlasts any president and any cabinet officer. Every administration needs oversight. This administration has had more money and more challenges to deal with that are fiscal in nature than most. However, the checks and balances on the Constitution are to a great extent what we are dealing with here today. The administration has not yet come to recognize the role that this committee plays in preserving the rule of law, eliminating waste and fraud and abuse in the Federal Government. The United States Supreme Court has long held the power of the Congress to conduct investigations is inherent in the legislative process. Moreover, the Court has recognized that this power is broad. Since first learning of the controversial program Operation Fast and Furious, I have worked closely with Senator Chuck Grassley to get to the bottom of the strategy by the Federal Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms to allow heavy-duty arms to traffic into the hands of Mexican drug cartels. ATF field agents opposed this reckless program, which has been responsible for the deaths of innocent civilians in Mexico and even responsible for the death of a 40-year-old Border Patrol agent named Brian Terry. Together with Senator Grassley, I have sent 16 letters to the Department of Justice and ATF requesting information on this program. After giving the administration enough time to respond to a formal request, it has become clear that the compulsory process was needed. On March 31st, I authorized a subpoena for material documents needed to conduct thorough investigations into this matter. To date, the administration has provided only a handful of documents, all of which, I repeat, all of which, were already publicly available on the Internet, while withholding those that provide real answers. Our committee was asked whether we would come for an in-camera interview or in-camera observation of additional documents. We went, only to find out that those documents were so redacted as to be useless, even for in-camera review. Since that time, as many as 31 Democratic members of Congress have expressed their serious concerns about the Administration's response to this committee's investigation. These members noted that the American people deserve prompt and complete answers to the questions surrounding this operation. Moreover, these Democratic members do not believe that the DOJ investigation should curtail the ability of Congress to fulfill its oversight duties. Today's hearing is not, I repeat, not about the facts of Fast and Furious program. On Wednesday, the committee will have ample opportunity to hear about the program and how it has affected the lives of people living on both sides of our shared Mexican border. Rather, today's hearing is about a constitutional question. It is about whether the Administration is legally bound to respond to a lawfully issued and valid Congressional subpoena. To obstruct a Congressional investigation in this way is a serious matter. This is not the first Administration to flirt with this breach of the public trust, and it will probably not be the last. But on our watch, and this is our watch, this Congress will not shrink from its constitutional responsibility, and this committee will leverage every power at its disposal to enforce the rule of law. Today's witnesses will help the committee as we wade through the constitutional waters, and I look forward to a vigorous debate among our members. I might note that this hearing is one of the most important, because it may in fact be the one that sets the course for whether we work together on a bipartisan fashion to do our constitutional obligations of oversight. With that, I recognize